just explain this one thing to me. So this non-striker thinks that because the bowler is too focused on his delivery, on his stride, on the batsman, on his line and length, so he would not pay attention to where I am. He would not even notice if I step over the crease before he releases the ball. He would not notice that I'm trying to steal a run. So let me take advantage of that, of his concentration being focused somewhere else. And that is ethical. All the English people, cricketers, ex-cricketers, fans say that is in the spirit of the game. But if the bowler decides, no, I'm not going to allow that, if I'm not being allowed to cross, to step over that crease, even by a millimeter before I release the ball, that I'm punished with that ball being declared a no ball, even if I dismiss the batsman in that ball. So I'm not. So I'm going to make sure that the bowler abides by the batsman, the non-striker abides with the same rules. I'm doing something unethical, which is not in the spirit of the game. I don't get it. And also, if this is about the momentum that the non-striker should get momentum, why? What's stopping the non-striker to start running from behind the stumps? And by the time the ball is released, they are already in the momentum, so they can start running. How is a bowler abiding by the rules and trying to make sure the non-striker also abides by the rules of cricket? How the bowler is in the wrong here and the batsman is in the right. Nobody is saying a damn thing about that batsman, that batswoman in this case. And Deepti, she has been lampooned by everyone, by cricketers, present cricketers, ex-cricketers, English fans, thousands and lakhs of them. She has been shamed. She has been made to think. She has been made to believe that what she did was unsportsmanlike or unsportswomanlike, whatever way you want to put it. Because she was the one who followed the rules of the cricket and the non-striker did not. And that's it. Because the non-striker got out, because she cried, we're feeling sorry about her and we're shaming her. I'm just not been able to wrap my head around the whole logic behind it. Like, how are you shaming one player following the rules of the cricket and glorifying actually the other who did not? I- just tell me one rationale how this whole thing, because James Anderson in a very recent interview also again picked up this subject, and he said it's a shame that this thing happened. Let me read you what he said. There is something else too. There is something else he said very recently, probably yesterday, kind of the same thing. They did not even look her in the eye. Yeah. That's what James Anderson said. That they did not even look her in the eye because Deepti Sharma, because Indians were so ashamed of what they did not even look her in the eye. Wow. So Deepti Sharma was so ashamed of her actions that she did not even look her in the eye, the batsman. Who should not be able to look her in look whose eyes? The person who's taking advantage of the fact that probably bowler is not looking at me, so let me steal ground here, let me cheat essentially. That person should not be able to look her in the eye, or the person who made her follow the rules. How does this even work? And I know, when this thing will be over, when Mankad will truly be gone and this controversy will truly end, when England will come to India and then they will they will crib about, how do you even allow turning tracks in cricket? This is unsportsmanlike. This is not in the spirit of cricket. Only us, or only Australia, only white people are allowed to make seaming tracks, tracks of the nature of Perth, where ball bounces, where people who are not used to that bounce, especially batsmen from the subcontinent, they're not used to that speed, that bounce, they're not able to play. So we will call them best tracks in the world. But when there are tracks where white people can't play, what they're supposed to be good at spin bowling is as important as pace bowling. They are at the same level. It should not be considered inferior. So when white people are not able to play spin bowling on those turning tracks, which are suited to bowlers of that country, just like Perth is suited to bowlers of that country, or any fast moving pitch in England, just like that, Indian pitches are suited in most matches to Indian bowlers, Indian spinners. But that is glorification. That is the best pitch ever, and this is a shame. Can one person sit with me, or can one person in an interview explain the rationale behind it? Like why different standards? Why making turning tracks is unsportsmanlike, and making seaming tracks, bouncy tracks is not just okay, it's actually great. It's amazing. It's considered a pride if you score on that track. But if you score on this track, you're like, you just born to play here, so you're used to this inferior niche track. And if you're not able to play, instead of you getting criticism that as an international cricketer you should be able to play on that track and score runs, instead you're being projected as a victim. How? Indians have had a terrible record at Perth, for example. Let me take the example of Perth. Let me just go with that because it's the most popular example I can come up with. Indians have been shamed by us Indians ourselves, not just by foreigners, by us ourselves. They can't even play pace bowling just because there is pace in the track. Now Indians are just crumbling. That's so shameful. We feel embarrassed for our cricketers that they cannot play at Perth. At least in the 90s they could not, with the exception of Tendulkar and maybe someone else, maybe Lakshman sometimes, I don't know. But so we felt ashamed of this inability of our cricketers to play at Perth. But rest of the world, especially the white people, they don't feel ashamed that their their batters cannot bat on the turning tracks. They take a moral high ground and say, how could you even make a spinning track? I mean, this is astounding. You know what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying this is right, this is wrong. I'm just asking you a question. Why is this right? By what logic? If this is right, if this is how it's supposed to be in cricket, why is this wrong? Just tell me, why is this wrong? I'm not saying this is right, this is wrong. I'm saying, okay, this is right, this is amazing. Bouncy tracks, non-striker stealing the run, and this is wrong, turning tracks, and the bowler not allowing the non-striker to steal a run. Tell me, why is it not in the spirit of the game? And this is, please, just in clear words, no rhetoric. And when you say this is not in the spirit of the game, explain why the runner is in this, the non-striker is what that person is doing, that is in the spirit of the game. And after you're done with that, tell me why turning tracks is unsportsmanlike and Perth is the best pitch in the world. Just give me a reason. Just don't to all the Michael Vaughns in the world and the James Andersons and all of these people who keep bitching about turning tracks. And I don't even understand. There is still some grey area in Mankading. You can say, okay, she did not warn him. I don't know why she should have warned him. Umpires don't warn bowlers that, okay, you're about to you stepped over the crease in the previous ball. I'm letting that pass, but don't do it again. They just declare it a no ball. But still, there is some grey area. Maybe if you watch the clip, maybe some people may find that Deepti Sharma never intention to bowl that ball. She is well within her rights to do that. But let's just say there is gray area. Okay, let's agree to disagree. But I don't understand where is the scope for to agree to disagree about about fast pitches being sportsmanlike and turning track as being unsportsmanlike. Just tell me how. What is the fucking rationale behind it, man? That's it.